Welcome back to part 3 of the Twilight Princess playthrough. Let's go and do some fishing.
Yoo-hoo!
Indeed.
I actually hate fishing. It's boring. Unless you have a beer or something.
Yeah, I went fishing a while back. Not the most exciting sport in the universe, I have to admit. Now, I have to shamefully admit this section because when I played this for the first time, it took me about 2.5 hours to actually get the hang of this.
It's actually kind of hard, because you don't actually know when to pull or if you gotta stay or do something.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a bit tricky at first because you don't actually know how to do this because they don't give you any hints or anything. You just got it's a Wii mode. You just fish. You just throw that and fish.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem that I faced. I didn't know, especially when you catch a fish, whether you've got to continue to flick the remote, you've got to hold it up, you've got to turn it, rotate it. I had absolutely no idea what you were supposed to do once you caught a fish.
I think it's the second time you catch the fish that the cat actually grabs it.
Yeah. Well, as you noticed there, the first time you catch a fish, you actually catch the cat's attention. And on the second time, as you'll soon see, nom 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 nom.
Damn look at.
I love Link's expression there, like what?
It's like a really truly what the fuck.
Yeah, essentially.
There goes the cat. There it goes.
I love that little cat flap.
Yeah. And there goes the magic tune that says you have done something good.
Yep. Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love the get item little jingle.
Yeah. Oh yes, the fat lady has the cat now.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
Yeah, I actually, there's nothing against the fat ladies, but it just reminds me of someone I met early in my youth. That she was really not a nice person. She once slapped me.
Oh, not nice.
Yeah, not nice at all. I didn't cry. I mean, I cried later, but I just went very upset. So there's a slingshot now.
Yep, we got the slingshot. And I think that was... Oh no, it wasn't the first time we've heard that item jingle, but it was the first time I'd recognised it. We've been talking too much, that's why.
Yeah, we've been talking... I mean, this is the part, like, always the Zelda's first part is more like a... you get to know the world, you just move around and stuff. It's not a lot of action, really.
Yeah. But going back to what we said in, I think, part 1, I prefer this introduction of a Zelda game than, say, Ocarina of Time or A Link to the Past, where it was just, you get up, right, you've got to go start your quest now.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to Ocarina of Time, I mean, that was a great game, but I don't mean to nitpick or anything, but one of the things which I didn't really like in Ocarina of Time was, as soon as you start the game, Navi's on your back, annoying you, saying, "Hey, listen, you got to go to the Deku tree now."
Yeah.
It's like, no, I've got. Give me some time to find my shield and sword first. I don't need you on my case.
Yeah, a lot of people complain about Navi, but I actually like the way she actually bothered you. I find it comical. I mean, it's just me. I mean, I find comical a lot of stuff people just hate.
Yeah, you say comical, I say bloody annoying.
Yeah, I'm laughing. That's what I like it. So, you got the sword now. You're going to a typical sword training of Zelda.
Yep. But first,
slingshot training. Sorry,
slingshot. Slingshot practice first.
Now you're going to prove the Wii Remote pointing ability.
Yes, which obviously is not included in the GameCube version. I've seen in some videos where the slingshot view is like just in Ocarina of Time. It's like from a first-person perspective.
Now we found the first difference from the GameCube and the Wii version.
That is correct. But also, I think, I'm not quite sure about this, but I think in the GameCube version, the entire game, in terms of its locations and its surroundings, are actually reflected.
Oh yes, I've heard that it's a mirror image. I mean, the GameCube has the correct image and the Wii is mirrored. I even heard that it was mirrored because of the Wii Remote was your sword, and most people are right-handed, so they accomplished Link to be right-handed.
Yes.
But to do that, you had actually to mirror everything around him. So that's why it's mirrored.
Yep. God knows what Link was thinking when he was in the Wii edition.
Oh my god, I'm right.
Yeah, total mind fuck, methinks.
So here's the sword training. Actually, it's not a training, you're supposed to know, but the kids actually tell you what to do.
Yeah. I find that a bit humorous, actually. It's like,
Yeah.
come on, you show us. Yeah, you show us by doing this, by pressing this button.
Yeah, it's like, you know, the one you taught us, like pressing B and forward, you know. Exactly.
Yeah.
And here goes little Stewie, know-it-all, it's all cranky and stuff.
Yeah, I made a few mistakes here, but yet again, I always make the same mistake when in sword practice. I can never get this particular attack right. There we go.
Here it is. Now that's the
right.
I think she actually likes Link. You know, the little girl.
Yeah.
Like she's in love with him.
What, you mean the little baby character?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a pretty sight, I'm afraid I have to admit.
Yeah, I know. I just had to say that out loud. So you broke the little doll.
I broke their pumpkin statue. But they're not too upset with me, because I just showed them how to use a wooden sword. And that makes up for everything. Oh, here we go with the chase scene.
Mm-hmm. You gotta go behind those kids.
Yep.
Don't forget Epona, right?
Yeah, I won't forget.
You can't be a hero without your horse. So here's where the thing comes slightly interesting now. You got now the conflict.
Yes. It's things where the story of the overall game starts to reveal itself, so to speak. Faron Woods.
This is another fictional place that didn't actually appear in our games. You know, the whole section where Link's at doesn't actually have a background history. You know, it's like in another part of Hyrule that has not been mentioned before.
Yeah.
If you notice.
Whoosh. I love that.
That was classy. That was classy. I didn't expect that. You actually were waiting for that, didn't you? Okay.
I got to admit, yeah, I was trying to get him to backflip over the horse, but it wasn't intentional. It was just accidental. That's all.
Okay. I believe you. I believe you. You know, I believe in people, in people's honesty and stuff. And you got the lamp now. Issue said, now Link, you can go to your basement. No, that's one thing I want to talk about, the selection screen. What do you think about this? You no longer, the B button does everything. You just call the weapon from the D-pad and put in the B button. What do you think about that? I actually kind of, it's not a big deal. It's also nitpick in the game, but I kind of miss the C buttons where you can actually use the item directly from the button and not calling it from B.
I mean, yeah, like you said. I mean, I don't think it makes much difference, but I think in terms of like nostalgia and past Zelda games, I kind of miss the whole C button functionality, as in past Zelda games.
But it's actually something you just gotta get used to because it's really not that annoying.
Yeah, but they actually they keep obviously because it's on a GameCube system, they keep the same button functionality as it is from Wind Waker. But the downside to it though is once you acquire a certain character, who we meet later on in the game, you only get 2 free spaces to put items in, which I found a bit odd because, as you know, in past Zelda games you have 3 spaces to put items in.
Yeah, I know about that.
So if you're playing Twilight Princess, the GameCube edition, unfortunately, you'll only get 2 spaces for items, whereas in past Zelda games with C buttons you get 3, and as you can see here on the Wii edition, you get 4 spaces.
Well, that's quite right. Yeah.
Okay, I think we're nearing the end of this, so join us in part 4 where we'll continue our first conflict. See you later.